Can Kia's new K4 hatchback compete with the Civic hatchback? We'll find out with today's comparison. The Ken Garff Honda here in Orem, Utah is providing us with this Civic hybrid. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Let's get into the comparison. The K4 is powered by a turbo 1.6 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic. Puts out 190 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. Average fuel economy with this is going to be in the low 30s. The Civic Hybrid has a 2-liter 4-cylinder paired to a hybrid system, putting out 200 horsepower, 232 pound-feet of torque. Average fuel economy with this is going to be close to 50 miles per gallon. If you're looking for more straight to the point comparisons like this, make sure you subscribe. Now stylistically, I think the Kia looks fantastic, and this gold definitely pops quite a bit. This is really cool how that trim connects to kind of create a light bar appearance with the front end. Now the Civic is no slouch, but it definitely has a lot more exposed plastic on the front end, which does make it look less upscale compared to the Kia. Tire and wheel setup is identical, 235 by 40 by 18 on both of them, but the wheel design's a little bit different. With the Kia, it's just a completely blacked out wheel, whereas over with the Honda, you've got some silver and some metallic gray. Now the side profiles of these could not be more different. So with the Kia, pretty much everything is paint matched, or it's blacked out, or it has chrome trim. Like, it's very fancy looking, and it's got a more station wagon appearance. The Honda, on the other hand, has that kind of like fastback design, and you know, you don't have fender flares or anything like that, but you notice that everything's pretty much painted here on the side, so it still looks good. Now, because of the K4's more station wagon appearance, you have more vertical space and just kind of more space in the car in general, so that is a big plus, and they're both going to be manual with the hatches. Now the Civic is no slouch when it comes to space, but just like the Corolla that I also compared the K4 to, you're not going to have as much space in the back because of that rear hatch design. And it really does give the cars two completely different looks. It almost looks like they would compete in a different segment. Notice how they both kind of have that light bar effect. That is really taking over the car industry, is doing light bars and pretty much everything. It's like, why design taillights when you can just do a giant line in the center? Good room here in the back of the K4. Got some vents here in the back, USB ports. These seats are really nice. Fancy trim there, fancy trim on the door panel. And again, with that box seater design, you do have pretty good headroom. There is a center pump that brings things down a little bit. Now in the back of the Civic, good room as well, actually. And again, nice trim on the seat. Same thing with the door panel. There's no fancy features here in the center, by the way. And the roofline, because of that sloped fastback design, does come down tighter, so it is not as spacious. Now the Kia has a lot of features. You got blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, heated ventilated seats. We also have memory seats, heated steering wheel, and then here are the front seats. You can perforate it all down the center. Power adjustable for the driver. Getting in is really easy. Just gonna pop in, turn that on. Nice digital cluster here in the center. The steering wheel has a cool two-tone appearance. Paddles on the back, drive mode select. It's very stylized. A bunch of practical controls, including adaptive cruise control, lane centering. We also have a 360 camera. This as well. You notice the climate stuff's always accessible. The infotainment system's good. It's easy to use. You've got some physical buttons below for like the climate and the radio. You've got a phone charging pad with a bunch of USBs. Shifter to put it into gear with that 8-speed automatic. And this is always kind of fun with the Kias, how they have that. Good storage in general. Same with the center. Nice trim on the top. And then I like the design on the dash. Again, that looks pretty fancy. There is a sunroof here for the front passengers. Blind spot monitoring with the Civic. And again, you do have some nice trim here on the door panel, window controls and everything. And then here are the seats. Power adjustable as well. Getting in, I'd say a little bit, like it's not as easy as the Kia, but it's not bad. Feels like it sits lower. It's nice though. Soft touch trim all around the steering wheel. You've got paddles on the back for the regen system, adaptive cruise control and everything, and then just a regular backup camera. The infotainment system with these new Hondas is really good. It's quick to respond, so it's a good unit overall in that sense. And then we do have physical buttons for the climate. No cooled seats, but you do have dual zone climate, heated seats, phone charging pad. Got the shifter to put it into not gear because it doesn't have gears. Drive mode select, parking brake and brake hold, center console. Nice trim on the top there. And then we do have a center from the Honda as well. The Honda is more expensive at about $35K, whereas that Kia is going to be lower 30s. I think this one as equipped was like 32-ish, if I remember right. So yeah, let's drive them. Now we're going to set off in the Civic first. Why are we setting off in the Civic first? Because I'm going home after this. Actually, I'm going to the gym. Second home. And so I want to, since that Kia is the demo car for the week, I want to just be able to drive out instead of doing Yeah, loop-de-loop with both of them, and then drive out. This might seem like a weird comparison on surface. I'm gonna get a lot of apples to oranges comments. Both hatchbacks, both over $30,000, both luxury trims. Two different approaches to what a luxury hatchback should be. This one is hybrid with big power still for the car. I mean, this powertrain, when you have it in the CR-V, in the Accord, feels adequate. In the Civic here, it's a monster. I mean, 200 horsepower for a little hatchback with a hybrid. You've got instant torque. It's a great setup. And you guys know I'm a big fan of this powertrain because although it's not as efficient as it could be, it's quick. Certainly quick. And the regen system with the paddles is seamless. Again, it's not trying to do like the fake gear shifting, which I really appreciate. The Prelude does though, which is a different car. That car kind of, I still like that car, to be honest. But other than that, it is spacious in here. And I would say overall, the seats are comfortable. Such a smooth powertrain. And I really want to do this comparison because I think that in this segment, unless you're going to do a hot hatch like a GR Corolla Civic Type R, I think that it should just be all hybrid, because the performance of a hybrid 4-cylinder compared to a turbo tiny 4-cylinder like what the Kia has, or compared to a NA 4-cylinder, it's just not, you can't even compare them. Like the hybrid barely adds any weight. It adds some weight, but barely any weight. It's not really like enough to bother you, especially the extra power you get. And you get efficiency. It's like you get a great acceleration, you get efficiency. This should be every single car in the segment. This should be the main powertrain. And then, you know, I still think for like I said, Type R, GR Corolla, all that kind of stuff, they should do a high performance turbo 4-cylinder, but that's different, right? That's not about, you know, well, it's kind of mainstream in a different way. So let's go pop into the K4, something's up. K4 hatchback. I think I compared this to pretty much one of the main players, because I did Corolla, I did Civic. I was gonna do Elantra, but they don't make an Elantra hatchback. Elantra, that's hard to say. Elantra, try to say it 10 times. Elantra hatchback. Anyways, but maybe I'll do a comparison down the road. Just K4 sedan versus Elantra. This has a lot of fanciness. Again, you got cooled seats, you got turn signal camera, 360 camera, power shade for the sunroof. So it's certainly a fancy car in that perspective, and you know, the UI is good too with the touchscreen. One thing that I will note that I don't like as much, is anyone gonna let me in? Maybe this RAV4. No. Yes. Maybe. One thing that I'm not as big of a fan of with the Korean cars compared to the Japanese is the materials with the Korean cars feel really nice, brand new. But like, I've reviewed enough cars over the years that I can tell if something's going to, I mean, you guys can call BS on this, but like, I can touch something and tell if it's gonna last. You can just, I can just feel, I've reviewed cars for so many years, and it's like, I just feel the trim, and I go, yeah, this is stuff that's gonna wear pretty fast. And that's what I feel in the Korean cars, and that's one downside with them, with the trim. Whereas the Japanese cars, you feel the trim and you're like, this feels like something that's actually gonna last a while. It's gonna hold up over time. Now this does drive really well. The suspension's very comfortable. The ride quality overall, yeah, it's all good. The seats are comfortable. I think the packaging's better. I do think that, Kia and Hyundai are a little bit behind on the electrics, or not the electric, the hybrid side of things. What I was going to say is they went too much into electric, and so they didn't spend enough money into hybrids. And Toyota and Honda, on the other hand, spent like no money in electric and more money, and especially Toyota, they spent the most money in hybrids. And so it does show. And so like I said earlier in the Civic, I think there's a big appeal to having a 4-cylinder that is pretty simple, that's reliable, paired to a hybrid system that has decent power and gets amazing fuel economy. Because I mean, that Civic has more power than this, and it feels better to accelerate, I think. Because although this is turbocharged and you think it would be fun, you get tons of turbo lag. These small displacement 4-cylinders, and some cars even have 3 cylinders, they have so much turbo lag. It's so bad. It sometimes feels like borderline dangerous, because you'll be pulling out onto the road and it's like lag, and then you finally get to accelerate. It's like, man, you feel like you almost got hit. And again, once it gets up and moves, like, that's good. Like, it's pretty darn good. It just takes a minute to get up and move. So I think this is a better value than the Civic, and you know, the Corolla too. Excuse me. You know, Honda and Twitter are definitely charging more for their badge. But badge aside, powertrains. And you know, the Corolla doesn't really have any good powertrain other than the GR. But that Civic hybrid powertrain is so strong. So, man, if only the Civic was a little bit less money, but that's kind of, I kind of picked, I prefer the back end of this car with the style and the space and everything, but that Civic powertrain is so good and the fuel economy is so good that it makes me want that one more.